Live from Easy K Studios in Eddyville, Kentucky. It's time for the Easy K Show. Tonight, we break down the top 10 90s movies in honor of Lion King being released this week in theaters. Your hosts, Darth Easy and Rainy Cage. Woohoo! Alright guys, welcome to episode 81 of the Easy K Show. While the music is still playing in the background.
I enjoy it.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Alright guys, so once again, welcome to another episode of the Easy K Show. I am Darth Easy.
I'm Rainy Cage.
And this week we are doing top 10 90s movies, mostly because Lion King is being released this week in theaters, and it is a remake of the original 1994 Lion King movie. So this gives us a perfect excuse to hit the 1990s as a decade and talk about our top 10 favorite films of that decade. So was this a hard list to come up with? Even though you had a month to come up with it.
Well, I really did it in about 10 minutes, and once I put 20 movies on my list, and then it was hard to fit certain ones in the 10, and then it was hard to sort them out. Yes, this was a harder list than normal for me.
Okay, it's a decade, so it's not a topic, it's a decade.
Yep, and we've never done top 10 90s before, have we?
No.
We did top 10 2000s.
Yeah. Alright, let me explain how the show works. Once me and Rain Cage have set a topic, we will go our separate ways, compare our own separate top 10s. I'll do my 10 through 8, he'll do his 10 through 8, I'll do my 7 through 6, and he'll do his 7 through 6. Then we'll trade one apiece. Once we have compared our own separate top 10s, we will create the top 10 90s list on the Easy Cage top 10. Alright, so you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You forgot about the most important rule you threw on, that you need to throw on the end there.
What?
Somehow Darth Easy will rig it to where his movies are higher than mine.
Yeah, they'll need to know about that. They already know about that. Alright, let's...
Me first?
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
My number 10 is Independence Day.
No.
I had a real hard time with my 10, 11, and 12 fitting, and I just went with, when I think 90s, I think Independence Day. Ugh. It's a great blockbuster film. It's got a great cast. It's tons of fun. It's very rewatchable. I'll go back and watch that movie all the time.
Whatever you say.
I pretend the sequel
that's
doesn't exist.
That's what ruins the movie. It's a sequel that just completely destroys the legacy of the first Independence Day.
Doesn't exist.
The movie speech is really the only thing I go back to
watch. Got a great president's speech there. Who plays the president?
Pullman.
Yeah, Bill Pullman. Will Smith is in here. Like me some Will Smith. This is the only movie I could squeeze Will Smith in here, and he's a 90s actor. So, yeah, and you got the great...
Jeff Goldblum?
Yes. This is his best movie.
This is his best movie?
Yes.
No.
I know what you're thinking, but
no.
I don't consider that his movie.
It's his movie.
No. This is his best movie. But anyways, yeah, Independence Day is my number 10.
All right.
My number 9 is Pulp Fiction.
Okay, yeah, we're punting.
Okay. And my number 8, I wanted to get an Adam Sandler movie in here because nothing says 90s like Adam Sandler, and he's got a lot of great 90s movies. I went with Happy Gilmore because it's my favorite.
Okay.
I know other people will go with a different one.
No, if I was going to go with one, I would have gone with that one. But
okay.
I had a lot of... I love the 90s.
Yeah.
So, it's a hard list.
Yep. Happy Gilmore is great. You had Happy. He's golfing, and he's hilarious. I love his coach in this movie.
Yeah, it's Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bob Barker's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Yeah, that's right. Just tons of fun. And that's my Sandler movie I went with.
That's all you're telling me?
That's all I got to say.
Okay.
My number 10 through 8. Big Easy. Darth Easy. The easiest of them all. Take it away.
Oh, yeah, that was your number 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we skipped from your number 9. My bad. All right, so my number 10,
yes.
You haven't seen it, so you don't have to look at your phone.
Maybe I have.
It's Heat.
I have seen The Heat. Melissa McCarthy, Sandra Bullock.
No.
Great movie.
Not that shitty movie.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is not a 90s movie.
Yeah. So we're talking about Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. The second time they were in a movie together. The first time they were technically in a movie together was Godfather Part 2, where De Niro played the Marlon Brando character in the first part of Vito Corleone's Godfather. So they actually never shared a scene in Godfather Part 2, even though they're in the same movie together. So it's kind of an interesting fact, and they had never been in a movie together until 1990's Heat. And this is such an incredible film. It's a heist movie. You have Al Pacino. Al Pacino plays a cop who's trying to take down De Niro. De Niro plays a heist. He's a guy who gets all these heists in there. You got Val Kilmer in this film. You got a young Natalie Portman in this film.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
And it's like a lot of the heists you've seen them like in Grand Theft Auto 5, for example. A lot of the heists they do in that game is very similar to what they do in Heat. It's a fun little action movie, but it's also just cool seeing De Niro and Al Pacino playing off each other. And De Niro and Al Pacino are like, there's a scene in the movie where they're in the cafe and they're just saying, it's like one way or the other, one of us are going to get the other one. And it's just such a cool little 90s action crime movie. And I highly recommend it.
Okay.
So my number 9 could be a punt, and it's Groundhog's Day.
It is not.
Oh, okay. So
I don't even have that in my honorable mentions.
Did you not think of it, or would you?
Did not think of it, and I do have Tom Hanks in my list. So
this isn't Tom Hanks.
Who is it? Oh,
this is Bill Murray.
Not Bill Murray. Billy Crystal. No, it is. It's not Tom Hanks for sure. It's not Bill Murray either.
Yeah, it is. Groundhog Day is Bill Murray.
I'll be sure.
Yes. All right, pause the show. Pause the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Talk about it.
Groundhog Day is Bill Murray, and I forget what the girl's name, but it's basically they go to the place in Papa Crisco, or I've only seen the movie once, but basically he has to repeat the same day over
right.
and
It's
over.
Bill Murray.
I know it's Bill Murray. It's Bill Murray. Why
did I think it was Billy Crystal? What am I talking about?
You're thinking of when Harry Met Sally,
yeah.
probably. So, anyways, he has to repeat the same day over and over again until he learns the life lesson. And this is a thing that has been used so many times in time travel stuff, where like Star Trek Discovery did this story. Legends of Tomorrow did this story, and then you've had some other movies that are inspired from this, like Happy Death Day, where you just repeat the same day over and over again.
Live, die, repeat.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow, which was So I really like this movie. It's a movie I will want to rewatch again. And it's an incredible film. I'm surprised it's not on your list.
I enjoy the film. I don't know if it would have made my list, but it probably should be in my honorable mentions at least.
All right. So
forgot about it. That's what happens when you make a list in 10 minutes.
Well, you had a month. I gave you a month to do this list. All right, so my number 8 is another film you have not seen.
Cool.
And it is Goodfellas.
Totally seen it, and it sucks. No, I haven't seen it.
All right, so Goodfellas, it's got Ray Liotta, you got Joe Pesci, you got Marty Scorsese, Robert De Niro, and it's basically a story of Ray Liotta's character who, he said, in the beginning of the movie, he says, all my life I wanted to be a gangster, and it's his rise through this criminal organization, and he's just rising up, and then you have all the shady stuff going on, and at the end where he has to betray the gangs. And
is this what they say hello to my...
No, that's Scarface.
Oh, okay.
So
this is parts of Scarface, not this movie though.
So this is it's an incredible film. It's Scorsese at his best. It's just such a cool crime film, and I love this movie. There's not much more I can say about it because I've talked about it many times on this show. All right. So I love Goodfellas. It's a good movie.
All right, that was a lovely 10 through 8. My number 7 is Titanic.
Okay.
I didn't figure this would be on your list, but I love this film. James Cameron directs, and at first I had no interest in going to see this movie, and then I can remember going to the theaters multiple times and seeing this movie. It's a great action movie, but with a love story and all kinds of good stuff going on there. Great soundtrack, great score, great direction.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not crazy. The romance kind of throws it off a little bit.
You don't like
but I love when the ship goes down, and it's pretty incredible.
Got a nice little survival twist to it at the end there.
I'm not crazy about DiCaprio in this movie. This is in my opinion, this is one of DiCaprio's weakest movies as acting goes, because he just had such a great career. Wow. So, but I enjoy the film.
All right, my number 6. I wanted to get an animated movie in here.
Okay.
This was my struggle because there was a lot of good animated movies in the 1990s.
Yeah. I mean, spoiler alert, I don't have no animated movies in this list.
Damn.
Because I want to, because we talk about animated movies all the time. We've done 2 animated lists this year.
But that's one of my favorite genres.
I want to do something different. So
I understand. This is one of my favorite genres, and I wanted to have one in here. So I went with my favorite movie in the 90s, which is Princess Mononoke.
This movie.
I love this movie. It's my favorite Miyazaki film. I can remember seeing this in the 90s and falling in love. And it's pretty freaking awesome. It's fantasy, epic. It's got an environmental message into it. It's an awesome, badass female character. It's good stuff.
Yeah, jam that environmental message down your
all of
throat.
Miyazaki's films have a little bit of environmental message in it.
The only ones you've seen have environmental message in there. Only that one, the Mad Max movie, I don't remember.
Nausicaa?
Yeah, and then this. It's the only 2 that
Ponyo has an environmental message in it.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
What's some other ones? Howl's Moving Castle hit that whole fucking thing. There's a whole giant scene about how he's polluting everything and killing everybody.
That movie's not memorable for me.
Spirited Away. That's a whole. I think it's more about your like emotions and things, but there's like some pollution things in that too.
No.
He's all about the polluting, that and flying.
Yeah, well, I told you that.
But anyways, I love Princess Mononoke. I know you're not that hot on it.
Nope.
Still my favorite Miyazaki film, and I just went with what I liked the best.
I could have made a top 100 movie list on top 10 90s, and this would have been in the list.
I know. There's other animated movies that I kind of wanted to
like
put
I
in
would have
there,
gone over. I mean, I'll talk about when we get to our honorable mentions. So,
all right, that's my 7 through 6.
All right, my number 7 might be the greatest Western ever made.
Oh, yeah?
And that's Unforgiven.
Well, that's a punt, sir. I got that at number 1. No.
It's a film you really need to watch. I mean, it's just incredible. It's Clint Eastwood's swan song to the Western genre, where it's basically the story of he's a rancher, he has these kids at home, and basically
Does it take place in the 90s?
It's it came out in the 90s.
Yeah, but it's not like a modern day Western is what I'm asking. It's a
90s Western film, so I don't know what you want me to say about this.
When does the movie take place? When did it come out?
Oh, it came out. It's a classic. It's set in like a Western genre.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Okay, so can I finish?
Well, I was just wondering because I could get down for a 90s Western.
So, anyways, Unforgiven. It's a story where you have Morgan Freeman in the movie, and you also have Gene Hackman's in the movie, and the story of it is Clint Eastwood's a rancher, and there's these whores in this town. Gene Hackman is basically in the town, and the prostitutes, the whores, whatever you want to call them, are basically they set out a bounty to free them. And Clint Eastwood, who's basically retired, he used to be this really great gunshot guy, and he left that life behind. He left drinking behind, and he goes off and does his one last mission to get the money to help out his family. And this film plays so much homage to the classic Western genre, where there's parts of the film where Clint Eastwood is trying to. He doesn't want to kill anybody. He doesn't want to do that life anymore, and he doesn't drink because he knows if he starts drinking, he'll just his whole life will get right back into it. And at the end of the gunshot, they're like, "Well, how were you able to move the gun so fast?" And I saw him. I shot him there. It kind of just took the whole Western genre and just did a whole thing with it. And also Morgan Freeman's like getting whipped by Gene Hackman. It's a symbolism of when the slaves were being whipped by their masters. And then the movie ends with Clint Eastwood riding off into a rainstorm instead of into the sunset. It's an incredible Western. I really highly recommend it. So yeah, that's my number 7.
Sounds pretty cool. 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's considered one of the greatest Westerns of all time. So it's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite. There's a John Wayne Western that's my favorite, but one day we might do Westerns. Probably not, because you won't watch movies.
If we do, I might have to watch this one.
No, I have it on Blu-ray if you ever want to borrow it.
Okay.
All right, so my number 6 is Pulp Fiction, a punt from earlier for you.
Not too far off then.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction, it's Quentin Tarantino at Quentin Tarantino's finest. I mean, without this film, you don't get the Kill Bills, you don't get the Django's, you don't get Inglourious Bastards, and he completely, I mean, he didn't create it, but he really made it cool to use the start a movie in the middle of the story, go back in time, and then go to the future, and all these different timeline stuff. He didn't create it, but he really made it popular during this time. And this is the movie that made Sam Jackson. We did a top 10 Sam Jackson movie list at the beginning of the year. I believe it was our number 1. And this is a film that made his career. It brought back John Travolta as an actor. Uma Thurman, it's great in it. Yeah, I love this movie. It's my favorite Tarantino film.
You said Uma Thurman, and now I'm trying to think some movie I just watched that Uma Thurman's daughter was in it. Oh no,
You're thinking Stranger Things.
Yeah, I love Pulp Fiction. It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but when you think 90s, I mean, this is like you said, Tarantino in his height. And yeah, Sam Jackson, Bruce Willis. Did you say Bruce Willis?
No,
He's in this movie. And Uma Thurman. I love the diner scene in this movie. It's like one of my favorite scenes ever. And yeah, this movie's just like batshit crazy, but also like tons of fun. And one of the movies as soon as you're done, you want to kind of rewatch it to try and piece together the crazy timeline he's doing in it. But yeah, I love Pulp Fiction.
Okay. That was 7 through 6, so what's your number 5?
My number 5 is The Matrix.
Yeah, that's not on my list.
Ba-dum-bum. Man, you're not a big love of The Matrix.
I'm not true. I had it higher on you than the in our action movie list. And,
I can't remember. You've never seen the second and the third one? Just
right.
The first? Well, yeah, The Matrix was like revolutionary special effects. Keanu Reeves was kick-ass in it. It was sci-fi, which I love. It made you freaking think right from the get-go. Not only was it revolutionary action film with the special effects like the slow-mo and stuff, but I don't know, you just don't get a whole lot of deep sci-fi films that also have amazing kick action in them, and this just kind of had it all. It was also the Wachowskis' coming out party.
I don't agree with that. I believe many sci-fi films have
kick-ass action?
Yeah, and a great sci-fi story.
Let's list them off right now.
I can't list them off at the moment.
Yeah, it comes out.
But
normally, if you get like a thinking man sci-fi, you know, you don't get the cool action to go with it. You usually get the dumb sci-fi. That's what I'm trying to say. You get the dumb sci-fi sometimes. You don't usually get them together. And you get them together in The Matrix. Okay?
When you say dumb sci-fi, do you mean dumb sci-fi that is...
like surrogates or...
Okay.
Like, you know, like... Or I'm not talking about like Star Wars, like Avatar or something. That's not like you're really thinking about it, but then you get your cool spectacle and your action scenes and stuff.
I got you.
Okay. Or Fifth Element. You know, that's got lots of cool action going on, but it's not.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. My number 4.
My number 5.
No,
this is how the show works.
Not how the show works. All right.
My number 5. It's probably a punt.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Okay.
Was I supposed to say punt? See? You guys really want to know my number 4 afterward. Number 4, Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, yeah. That's on my list.
You don't have the greatest war film
It's
ever
not the greatest
made
war movie.
on your 90s list.
It's not.
It's not the greatest war movie
It's
ever.
not the greatest war movie. I'm sorry. So,
okay.
it falls in... Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
I have, yes.
It falls in a very Full Metal Jacket, very thing into it, where it's 2 movies. The first half...
the Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket.
It's the same thing with Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan is 2 movies. The first part of the movie, the Battle of Normandy, is so good. It's incredible. But when they're going off to find Private Ryan, the movie kind of slows down for me. It's not what I like about the movie. That's my problem with Saving Private Ryan. But the stuff at the Battle of Normandy is incredible.
I feel like on this one you're in the minority. Saving Private Ryan is considered to be like one of the greatest war movies ever made.
It's in the top 10, yeah.
And
it's in the top 10, but it's
and we're doing 90s. I can't even think of another good war movie in the 90s. Or when I was making my list 10 minutes ago, I couldn't. So, yeah. This movie's badass. Tom Hanks. I'm going to get my Bill Murray, Tom Hanks routine wrapped around in here. And, that Battle of Normandy scene is, like, probably one of the greatest movie scenes of all time. Mm-hmm. But then I like all the stuff going into it. It's hardcore. Steven Spielberg directs this movie. You're a Steven Spielberg lover.
I love the ending. The ending whenever it's whenever he's at the cemetery. He said, "I made it count." It's like, and then he talked to his wife, and then that's an emotional scene when he talked to his wife. He's like, "Tell me I had a good life. Tell me I was a good man." And I mean, it was just. What was I worth sacrificing all these people who died? And it's got a great cast. Ben Diesel's in the movie. Matt Damon is Private Ryan. Nathan Fillion's in this movie. It's an incredible little war movie. It's
not one of the best movies of the 90s.
It's not one of the best movies in the 90s.
You are insane. But let's move on. What's your number 4?
All right, my number 4. Speaking of James Cameron. Terminator 2.
That's my number 3.
Okay, yeah, good job. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is awesome. It's just such an incredible sequel. It's been on a lot of our lists as we've done the past year and a half.
Because it's like a perfect movie.
It's a perfect movie. It's my favorite James Cameron movie. I mean, it's the way he does action, and the way the first Terminator was a horror film, and it was easily transitioned to an action film was incredible. I absolutely love this film.
But an action film with heart.
Yeah, and then the scenes with the young John Connor with Arnold and as the T-800, and like, I know why you cry, but it's something I could never do. And he sacrifices himself going down to the lava. The thumbs up is just emotionally. I cry every time I watch that movie. I watch that scene. And
got a badass villain. That Terminator.
Yeah,
was scary.
The T-1000 is great. And also Sarah Connor. I mean, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor was great.
I agree with everything you just said, except for it's not my favorite James Cameron movie. Avatar is, but
okay.
Yeah.
Which you still won't let me watch.
This movie is amazing, and like we said, perfection. And my number 3.
All right, so my number 3 is the movie. If I did not watch this movie, I would not be here right now.
Okay.
And that is Fight Club.
Oh, that was one of the ones that was in my honorable mentions. Like, right.
So you're telling me Independence Day makes the list over Fight Club?
It was hard, man. It was hard. Independence Day seems more 90s to me. I forgot Fight Club was even in the 90s. I figured it was a 2000s movie.
99.
Yeah, see, it's right at the cutoff. It's the crisp.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
but
okay.
Fight Club is amazing.
All right, Matrix. Bye.
I know that's true too. But Fight Club is amazing. You're right. Go ahead.
Fight Club.
I didn't put it on my list.
Fight Club completely changed the way because I was never really that big into movies growing up, and really it was that first year of college I watched Fight Club, and I watched the movie, and I was just enjoying the film, and then next thing I know, it's Brad Pitt's not real, and it completely blew my mind, and it's forever changed the way I've looked at movies, and the way David Fincher did that is just so good. And that's why it's so high on my list. It's why I have a poster of the movie in my living room. It's a movie that completely changed the way I looked at movies. Edward Norton's great. The way it says about society. Brad Pitt's just incredible. Never been better than he was in Fight Club, in my personal opinion. I love this film. There's not much more I can say about this film because this movie is just incredible. It's got Jared Leto who's in the movie as well. You got Meatloaf. It's just, I love this movie.
Anything for love, but I won't do that. Hey, what about Fincher? Is this your favorite Fincher movie?
This is my favorite Fincher movie.
Cool. I love Fight Club. It was number 11, so sorry. Independence Day just barely knocked it out of there.
Shame. All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Freedom!
Okay, that's my number 1.
Nice. Braveheart is amazing. I just rewatched this in 4K the other day, and it was beautiful. I love Braveheart. Mel Gibson directed, stars. It's got an amazing soundtrack, an amazing story. I say soundtrack, I meant score. And, it's got heart. The ending is sad and depressing, but also uplifting at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the story with Mel Gibson. I mean, those eyes. That scene whenever he realizes Robert the Bruce betrayed him, and he looks over, and you just look at those damn eyes. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, the speech is incredible. The battle scenes are incredible. Is the movie historically accurate? No.
Nah,
but there's Gladiator, and I love Gladiator.
Yep.
And this film, every time I watch this movie, whenever he yells, whenever he being tortured, and they say, just concede and we'll grant you mercy, we'll grant you a quick death, and he yells, freedom! The hairs on the back of my back stand up, and it's just incredible. It's just such incredible acting, and directed by Mel Gibson.
I agree.
All right,
Your
so
number 2?
what's your my number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. My number 2 is The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
You
made me watch this.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it. It is not in my list.
Yeah, I just rewatched it like a couple hours ago because I was just wanting to rewatch it before we did this list.
I still don't. Explain to me why this movie is so good.
It's just it's a story about a guy who he goes to prison for a crime he didn't commit. So they just believed he did it, and then it's a story of brotherhood. It's a man's movie. You have Morgan Freeman, the best narration of a movie ever. Morgan Freeman's the narrator of the whole movie, and he tells the story of Andy Dufresne and the story of corruption. The story, I mean, the scene on the rooftop whenever they're drinking the beers, and it's the line that Morgan Freeman says. He says, "We could have been on our roof or one of our own buildings. We felt like free men." And then also the scene with Brooks when Brooks kills himself. And he's just walking down the street, and he says the line where, like, I saw a car when I was a young boy, realizing he's been in prison his whole freaking life, 50 years, and he saw a car maybe once when he was growing up, and then we went to prison and never saw a car again, and then they're everywhere during this time. And Tim Robbins, incredible in this film. This is my favorite Morgan Freeman movie. And then Get Busy Living, Get Busy Dying, and Hope's a Good Day. This movie's so quotable, and it's just one of the greatest films ever made. And the whole of how he escapes from the prison is so incredible. I love this film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Cool.
Anything to say about the movie? So
I enjoyed it. It's one of those things. It was like Mad Max, where I've seen a lot of this stuff in newer things, and so it kind of didn't hit me the same way for people who have seen this and not seen those things, I guess. I don't have nostalgia for it, so I don't know. It just didn't hit me like it hits everybody else. I know I'm in the minority.
You are.
Everybody was like, you can't believe you haven't seen this movie. But I did enjoy it, but I didn't even put it on my honorable mentions, so.
Okay.
It was good.
All right, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Bum 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 Bum.
Oh, yeah, Jurassic Park. I forgot.
It's the greatest movie of all time. No, it's in my top 5 of all time. So, of course, it's going to be my number 1 90s. I mean, I love freaking Jurassic Park. It's got to be one of the most rewatchable movies of all time. Yeah. It's got amazing special effects that you could pop this movie in right now, and it still looks like there's real dinosaurs running around that place. A great cast. And that's what we were talking about earlier with... why can I never remember his name? Jeff Goldblum. He's more of a side character in this movie. I mean, he's good, but I feel like he's Independence Day. He's the star.
His speech, it's a speech the produced Universal needs to hear about the freaking Jurassic World movies, because you keep asking if you should, and you never answer why. And it's just such a great scene.
Too late now. I mean,
those movies are.
I mean, in Jurassic World, where we've gone so far now to the point where no Jeff Goldblum's speech is going to save humanity anymore. The dinosaurs are loose now.
Jurassic Park, I agree with you, it's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite Steven Spielberg films. I love this film. I wish they would have not made another one, because I hate them all. I hate them all equally. I hate the Jurassic World movies. I like Jurassic World. I like Park 3 more. I like 2. I don't want
everybody, look, I know I've said this before, but go back in the Darth Easy cages of past movie reviews. He also enjoyed Jurassic World.
But anyways, Jurassic Park, it's a complete masterpiece. I love the scene, which was I can't remember what I saw recently that it reminded me of it was the scene with the T-Rexes or the Velociraptors. There was a scene that I seen in a movie or a TV show, which made me think of Jurassic Park. Do what?
It wasn't Stranger Things, was it?
No, it wasn't Stranger Things.
Well, I can tell you, I went and saw Crawl last night, and it really reminded me. Some of the scenes of Crawl reminded me of Jurassic Park.
But yeah, this is an incredible film. I love the score. I'm a big score guy, and this is probably one of the best scores of the 1990s. So.
Hell yeah!
So I love Jurassic Park. It was in my list, so just nice high. So
okay.
All right, guys. So now let's. That's our separate list. Now let's compile these lists together. So my number 1 is Braveheart. Your number 2 is Braveheart. So obviously, the number 1 movie has to be Braveheart. Do you?
I agree. As long as you're not getting ready to shaft Jurassic Park past number 2.
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna put Shawshank Redemption number 2. We'll put Jurassic Park at 2.
Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be T2, right?
And then we'll put Terminator 2 at 3. 2. All right, so
any other commonalities?
I had Pulp Fiction at 6. You have it at 9. So I say we just put Pulp Fiction at 6. That way we don't. Cause I don't want to.
Because you want it to be higher. I gotta
do what? Well, I don't want to bump it up to 4. So but 6. I think 6 or.
Well, obviously we wouldn't bump it up to 4, but why wouldn't we split the difference and put it at like 7 or 8?
Yeah, we'll just put it at 6 because it's a commonality.
No, see, this is the kind of stupid rule. If you would try to put it at 4,
alright, so 6, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Why? No one knows, but
it
sure.
Matters.
It doesn't really. None of this matters.
Alright, so my number 2 was Shawshank Redemption, so it should be number 4.
Should it?
Yeah. What's
my number 4 is Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, and my Shawshank is number 2. So.
Oh, what's your next?
So we'll go Shawshank at 4.
What's your next movie?
Shawshank.
No, you're not answering.
Redemption, because I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
My next movie is Fight Club, which I had at 3.
Which is still higher.
So I guess Fight Club at 5. I
guess so.
Okay. Don't worry, you'll probably get the next 2. All right, so
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan 7. Okay.
And The Matrix.
And that was what, your 5?
Yeah. Wish you got one higher. Did you?
No, I don't have anything. All I have is my 7 through 10.
So what do we got left?
All I have left is Unforgiven at 7. What's your last movie you want to fight for?
We only have 2 spots left?
Yeah.
What are our 2 spots, 7 and 10?
No, 9 and 10.
9 and 10. Damn, we filled that up quick. Well, my Princess Mononoke is at 6. So that's what I'm going with.
Alright, I'm going to throw that at 10.
Of course you are. You know, I can get a notepad and write stuff down, too.
Okay.
Does that give you the power?
No. Alright, guys, let's count down this list. The top 10 90s movies! Yeah! At number 10, Princess Mononoke, for some reason. At number 9, Unforgiven. At number 8, The Matrix. At number 7, Saving Private Ryan. At number 6, Pulp Fiction. At number 5, Fight Club. At number 4, The Shawshank Redemption.
For some reason.
At number 3, The Terminator 2, Judgment Day. At number 2, Jurassic Park. And the number 1 90s movie is Braveheart. Alright, that concludes the list. So, honorable mentions. Any
Fight Club. The Rock. I wanted to get a Michael Bay movie in there, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
Mulan. Because that is my favorite Disney animated movie, even over Lion King.
Over Princess Mononoke.
That was it was either going to be Princess Mononoke, Mulan, or Lion King, and I went with Princess Mononoke because it's my favorite. Home Alone is a nice one. The Sixth Sense, great M. Night coming out party. Lion King, Forrest Gump. I can't believe you didn't have that on you. You're not a big Forrest Gump guy.
I don't like the crap. Forget what her name is. Robin Wright character.
Yeah,
I think she's a bitch. That's being perfectly honest.
She definitely is.
So
Armageddon.
I don't understand why they fall in love. It just makes no sense to me. Anyways, go ahead.
He's a fool. Armageddon. I knew I was going to put that in there, but
at least it was on the list. I appreciate
Toy
that.
Story.
Okay.
It was revolutionary. And then I had Con Air at number 20, even though another one that I knew I was going to put on the list. But still, when I think 90s, I think Nick Cage and his awesome wig and Con Air.
Okay. So I have Clueless.
Nice. I have never seen that. I need to watch it. It's Paul Rudd's in that too, isn't he?
It's a good little coming of age film. I have Titanic. I enjoy that film. It's just, I already had one James Cameron in the list, and I want to make the list anyways. The Lion King. This would make my list if I didn't do no animated list on this list. It would probably be my number 2 or 3. To be honest with you. I went with Seven. Love that movie. I already had a David Fincher movie on the list. Good Will Hunting. God, that is such a tearjerker.
Never seen it.
So good. The Big Lebowski with Jeff Bridges. I mean, it's
the dude.
The dude. It's Jeff Bridges' probably best movie, and John Goodman. Scream. Really cool little horror movie. Really, really like that.
Damn, that's the 90s? I thought it was the 2000s.
The Usual Suspects. Really good crime film.
It's a movie I need to watch, but we're not allowed to anymore because Bryan Singer.
Well, American Pie. Love that movie. The Matrix. Still haven't finished it completely, but I really like it. The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah, Fugitive's good.
Clerks. It's a good little Kevin Smith film. Happy Gilmore. Love that movie. I mean, I can't believe you didn't mention the clown, because you're going to die, clown! Toy Story. Love that movie. Saving Private Ryan. It's good. It's not top 10. Beauty and the Beast. Absolutely incredible film. First
I thought Beauty and the Beast was 80s.
91.
Damn.
It's a year.
So you had Aladdin, Lion King, Mulan.
Not even a good year. It was a good decade for Disney. And then Iron Giant. I loved Iron Giant. So I was really close, because when we did our top 10 animated movies that weren't Disney and Pixar earlier the year, that movie made me bawl, because it's so good. All right, guys, that ends the top 10 90s list. What will we do next time?
Who knows?
Wait next month to find out. So until next time, all too easy.
Peace out.